Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Let me scoot you in here. Today we are drinking a, oh god, you know you're getting old when you go like, what does that say? Okay, it says the Shipyard Brewing Company Pumpkinhead. Happy fall, y'all. Oh, that tastes good. Okay. So today we are going to do a little bit of a get ready with me while we talk about Gerald's Game that I watched on Netflix. It's a 2017 Stephen King film adaptation. That's the word I was thinking of. Too much beer. No, I'm kidding. I only had one sip. I was not excited to see this movie. I thought it would be really boring. I thought the premise was really kind of kooky, and I didn't think that it was gonna be something I was into. It really, really shocked me. I really, really enjoyed it. Ooh, it was very cringy at moments. I ended up texting my mommy. I was like, Mom, I can't handle the last 30 minutes of this movie. And she texted back with me. I was like hiding under a blanket. It was the whole thing. And we'll get into it in a second. First, I want to talk to you about Lip Monthly. I got Lip Monthly this month for September 2020. This is the first time I've ever gotten them, and I am so disappointed. So disappointed. I didn't want to be super negative. I didn't want to make just a video on them because I just don't want to, A, who watches my videos? And B, like, I don't know, I just don't want to be negative. But I feel like you should know. So after a little digging, I was like, what the hell? Let me show you what happened first. So I get this box in the mail. Have you guys gotten beauty subscriptions before? Usually they don't show up in like this weird, this is like some Poshmark stuff. Like, what? The experience of opening up a subscription box or something like that, it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to enjoy it. You're supposed to feel like, ooh, a present for me. And you get this ugly, yucky to the feel pouch, which looks nothing like the bags that they normally have. And then 1, 2, ooh, these are rolling everywhere. 3, 4 products. But then I read this thing and it says, we packed this little bag with 5 of our favorite items. I go to Instagram and DM Lip Monthly, show them a picture, and I'm like, I think my bag is missing some items. And I'll put up their response, but they're basically like, I guess these 4 items are worth $50 and that's why it doesn't have a 5th item. But then change your marketing material. You can say 4 to 5 items. What does their website say? I'll look and then insert it somewhere. I'm never getting Lip Monthly again. It just feels so sketchy to me. And nothing came with like a sanitary seal or anything. Oh, this did. This was the only thing that had like a little seal on it so that I knew that nobody else used it. They basically told me that they used this crappy pouch because they ran out of their pouches while they were waiting for it to get in stock. I've had Ipsy where like I've ordered Ipsy before at the latter end of the month and they just straight up don't send it to me for a month and they send me the next month's bag because they ran out of something. I would have been much happier with that than this. So it's the same price as Ipsy and the experience was so much worse. Like I would definitely keep Ipsy versus Lip Monthly. That was an absolute joke. Okay, PSA over. We are going to do a really easy neutral look Maybe I'll try on some of those lip colors at the end. I got this in my Ipsy bag last month, called Moisture Boost Cooling Algae Eye Serum by Tony Molle. I don't know much about it. I didn't do any research. I'm not prepared. But I do like it. First of all, I feel like it was like filled to the brim. Like it was like a, you know, they didn't like skimp on product. I hate when companies do that. And they basically say to like massage it into your face. 8 minutes? How have I been recording for 8 minutes? That's craziness. This is gonna be a really long video. I'm sorry. Hopefully you're into it. If you're not, don't watch my video. It's fine. It's okay. Okay. Wow. I'm coming off like a bitch in this. Okay. And then we have the Derma E peptide thingy that I opened from my Ipsy. I don't know when that video is going up, but it's good. It feels good. Here. Derma E. I don't know what the price of that sample is. They don't tell you anymore, which is frustrating. Okay. So then I also got this Purelisse CC cream sample in Fair. It's like really tiny on the back. Okay, I feel like they really skimped on product. Like, look. Still squeezing. All right, now. All right, I put way too much of this on the other day. I only used it for the first time, like, just the other day. I don't normally wear stuff like this, so I don't know what I'm doing. But we're here to play with makeup and drink alcohol, right? So, oh, and sorry if you can hear TV on in the background. My daughter is watching Halloween Town on the Disney Channel. I love that movie. I love that movie. I always watch it around Halloween time. I almost said Christmas time. Can you guys believe Christmas is coming? Okay. I'm a space cadet today, sorry. Let's talk about Gerald's Game. So, just a little disclaimer. This movie has some child's like sexual abuse in it. So I'm just gonna talk about that slightly because it really plays a character in the movie. But when I saw the trailer, I thought that the trailer was just gonna be about her trying to get out of the handcuffs, which it totally is. But it's way more of like, okay, she's trapped in this situation where she kind of has to face her feelings about stuff that happened when she was a kid. I don't know how I feel about this. Is it too late? Maybe. Maybe. Am I going anywhere? No. So who cares? So who freaking cares? All right. And they did a really good job. Carla in this movie, she's the main character. She plays Jess. I loved her in The Mummy when I was younger. Like, loved her in that. So I already liked her. I kind of knew she could carry this movie. But it was just, this movie had so much more to it than I ever anticipated. It was so well done. The camera work on this. First of all, I didn't know that the dog was going to be part of the movie the entire time. The dog comes in right after her husband has a heart attack and dies. And he like bites off a chunk of his body and starts eating him. I did not expect that. And the dog is cute. And I feel like the audience is very conflicted because the dog looks cute the entire movie. And he like, you're like kind of friends with him. And then this happens and you're just like, I'm friends with you, dog, but I also recognize that if I stay in this situation, you're going to eat me. So then, you know, she goes a little nutty. They do like a little time lapse. She goes a little nutty. Sorry, that's my dog. Speaking of German Shepherd dogs, her husband like gets up and for a second you like think he's alive, but it's just in her mind. Like we kind of saw that from the trailer. What we didn't, what I didn't see from the trailer was that she also gets up and she is her own character and she's talking to herself, which is really cool. The way that they do that is, like, I would highly recommend this movie. I'm gonna give you spoilers, but I'm the type of person, like, I can watch a movie even if I've watched spoilers and commentary and everything. Then, I don't know if you guys that are watching this have had kids or not, but there is this thing that happens to me. I don't know if it happens to other people, but like after you have a baby, you have like a newborn, and like during the day everything's good, like the sun is out, you feel really like, you feel safe, you feel happy, and then the sun starts to go down and you feel like your world is like closing in on you and you're like, oh my god, nighttime's coming and I'm gonna be alone with this baby and it's gonna like scream and I'm not gonna know what to do, and or like think life just becomes harder, like nursing becomes harder, changing their diaper becomes harder because you're just tired. I kind of felt like that in this movie. Like she's like counting down the hours, she knows it's gonna get dark, and then she's gonna be tied to that bed and there's a dead, like, and the way that this movie kind of sets that tone where you are also like very aware that it's gonna get dark and that this whole situation is a little bit spookier. You're like anticipating it and getting scared of it too. I thought that was fantastic. I've never had a movie do that before where you're like my light was on in my bedroom when I was watching this, and yet I saw the sun start going down and I started to freak out a little bit. I was like, no, I don't want to. There are some jump scares in this movie that straight up get me. Like, oh god, there's this one scene, I think he's called like the Moonlight Man or the Crypt Keeper or something, where like all of a sudden she's like asleep and she wakes up and he's like kissing her foot. He's not really there. It's the dog chewing on her leg, which is still messed up, but like his face as he's like eating her foot. Oh my god. After that moment, because it like flashes to it and then it goes away really fast, I was like afraid to look because it kept going between her like memory and like what was actually happening, and both were equally terrifying, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't. That's when I started texting my mom. I was like, mommy, because she's the one I normally watch the scary movies with, and she actually saw this trailer and she was not into it, so she didn't see it. So I started telling her all the stuff that was happening. What I don't understand is like, okay, you spend the entire movie not knowing whether or not the Crypt Keeper guy is real or if he's just like a demon that she made up in her head. But like it's so creepy that he's actually real, and I didn't expect that. Like I went all the way into, I didn't expect that. And her walking into that courtroom at the end and like looking up at him being like, you're smaller than I remember. Like, what? No, I was still scared. Like, I was still scared. But she had gone through, like, she ended up, whoa. See, you have to know when to stop adding this shit to your face. It wouldn't be a movie and makeup moment if it wasn't for me overdoing blush. That's like a thing I do, apparently. Right, so I'm going to use Soft Glam today. I just saw that they're coming out with a new Soft Glam. It's like Soft Glam 2, and it has a couple shades from the Soft Glam and then a couple shades from Norvina. think it's got 4 from this and then 2 from Norvina. This shade right here, Tempera, I'm like tempted to get the Soft Glam 2 just for this shade. I love this shade. And I'm like, I'm totally out. But I don't want to get something I've already had. So I'm not going to. Or don't hold me to it. If I get the money, I might. So my favorite things were, there were a lot of connections between what happened in her past versus what was happening to her now, and how she was capable of getting out of this situation, and she was coaching herself. And it almost felt like we as the audience were comforted by the presence of herself and her husband Gerald being there talking to her, even though some of the things that they were saying were uncomfortable and hard for her to deal with. As an audience, we felt comforted by their presence. But at the end of the day, then when that comfort is taken away from her, she is forced with dealing with the monster or the dog or her past. And that's what was really cool about this movie. I don't know the director's name. I'll put it down here when I'm editing. But the fact that this movie could keep a tense feeling, a cringeworthy feeling, like the entire movie, and just like built up, but then had a resolution because she ended up dealing with her demons, essentially. She rose to the occasion. This built up, and I mean, the scene when she like rips her hand out of the, she essentially degloved her hand. It was gruesome, and it was good. And you know, that I'm a hard critic when it comes to endings of movies, and I feel like the ending of that movie was very, very good. I was a little confused about the fact that the Crypt Keeper was real. Like, I have questions about that. Like, how did he know she was in there? Maybe because she was screaming, but like, that felt like its own movie. And I saw the movie review by Chris Struckman after I watched this movie, because I was kind of thrown for a loop last night. I watched this and I could not go to bed after, because it's just like had my brain thinking about this. And he said, I mean, he doesn't give spoilers away in this review, so he was saying that there was something in the movie which was also in the book that just felt very out of place, and this felt a little out of place for me, because I just felt like there was so much more information we could have gotten from this. But also, like, there is this mixture of her imagination, her fear, her dehydration, plus the truth. Because, I mean, his eyes were glowing. His, you know, some of the things that he did in the movie didn't actually happen. Like, he wasn't actually in the back of the car. Because he was a real person. So she took what she saw in real life and she also added to it. It's really interesting that when they referenced her sexual trauma from her father, and if you didn't watch the movie, it's not, I don't want to add a level of like, oh, this is worse and this is better. I'm not going to get into that, because anyone who has been abused sexually as a child, that sucks and that's awful. There's no like meter. Just because something is deemed more violent or more physical doesn't mean that the other person had it easier. So I don't want to get into that, but it was a little bit vague, but I feel like this is what happened. Her dad kind of groomed her. She, you know, became a woman, got her period, and it looked like his wife was pregnant and she was one of 4 already, so her mom was gonna have the 5th child, and her mom and her were clashing because of just like normal 12-year-old stuff. And she was kind of a little bit of a daddy's girl, which when they were showing this, I was like, oh, it's because he's sexually abusing her. Like, you kind of got some of those vibes already from the movie. You didn't have to like actually see it yet. And then he decides to stay back with her for the solar eclipse. The rest of the family goes out on a boat, and she's sitting with her dad, and he's just like reminiscing when she was a little girl and used to sit on his lap and look at the stars and stuff. And just the way that this actor is like bringing that up is just like so creepy and cringeworthy that you like already know what's gonna happen. And the little actress, I don't know what actress this is, but she did such a good job, because like she does a lot of acting of like, what's happening, I know this is wrong, but I want to make my dad happy. Like the whole progression mentally of like how she sat on his lap and then started to blame herself for what happened. But I guess, long story short, because I don't want to talk about this forever, because she sits on his lap, she's looking at the solar eclipse. He tells her not to turn around, but he's like masturbating while she's sitting on his lap, and he doesn't actually touch her or do things to her. But then after it happens, she's like totally freaked out. She goes into her bedroom, she changes out of her dress because she feels like she shouldn't have worn that dress because her mom told her it was too short anyway, and then her dad did that. So he comes in and he says that they should tell her mother. And he's doing this because he knows that her mother has like a strained relationship with her. And he's basically trying to get her to say, no, let's not tell anybody. I can keep this as a secret forever. Because he's an adult and she's not, like, she doesn't understand what he's doing. Oh God, it just like, it was hard to watch. And the way that they had the husband, who's not really the husband, he is Jess, right? Discovering what it is and realizing that she never told him, and that she was still kind of trapped because she was still keeping her father's secrets, like, and then she discovered that like she was set free by telling everybody. I mean, I feel like someone who ends up having, you know, a situation where they are sexually abused would, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you would appreciate this movie because it's basically saying that talking about it is therapeutic because you're not doing what your abuser would want you to do, which is, you know, keep it a secret, hide it. But as a mother, it's hard to watch, because I mean, like, how do you as a dad do that? I don't understand. But I mean, I guess it's good that I don't understand, because if you understood, then you're part of the problem. I don't know. I don't like that. What is wrong with that? All right, let's see if we can fix that. Yeah. Overall, I think it was a great movie. I think it's a little heavy if you are really sensitive to, if you're sensitive to child abuse, because it isn't a theme. It's not extremely graphic, but it is, like, the scenes are very tense and very long and drawn out. They're not like short, oh, this is what happens kind of scenes. They make you uncomfortable. So I wouldn't recommend watching it if that is really hard for you. But I thought that the way that they did everything was really, really good. I enjoyed it. It was tense. It was scary. I saw the trailer to Enola Enola Holmes. I want to see that. Maybe I'll watch that next. I don't know if it's a series or a movie. I think it might be a movie. So I have the Cover FX glitter drops. So we can try the lipstick now. Let me get a paper towel or something so I can wipe it off so that you can see what all of them look like. Okay, the beer like made me hot, so I need to take this off. Who is loving tie-dye in 2020? I feel like life got so hard in 2020 that now everybody's just like, peace, love, and you know, beer. I'm gonna do the ones that are easier to wipe off first because I just have a paper towel, not a makeup wipe or something. Okay, this is Unicorn Snot. I know, it's kind of a yucky name. I will put the price up here if I can find it. They didn't provide it to me. It smells good. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have put this one on first. It's very glittery. Feels really slip-slidey on my lips. I don't like how it feels, but maybe I put too much on. All right, so that is Unicorn Snot, which is gross to say. This is Steve LAURANT. I don't know what it is because it doesn't have a packaging. Oh, it says Orchid Lip Oil. It doesn't look like an oil though, like it's like thick. Ew. Yeah, it's kind of goopy. All right, this has like the stereotypical gloss texture. This, I mean, I'll use this because it's just a clear lip gloss. But it doesn't feel nice. Like I like the Disco Queen lip gloss better by Medusa's makeup. That feels nicer. This doesn't feel as nice. The next one is Estate Cosmetics. It's called Arson. Okay, this might actually look really cute with this eye look. Whoa. Ooh. It feels gritty on the lips. I guess it doesn't look that bad. At first glance, you're like, what the fuck is on my face? But then I guess you get kind of used to it. I feel like in person it would be way more weird. It doesn't look that bad on camera. My poor lips. Ooh. Oh, I thought the mail was here. I was excited. Here. I hope that I get a package. I'm waiting for my merch from Bailey Sarian. Should be here soon. Okay. This is the KAB in the Lollipop shade. Ooh, I feel like there's like glitter from the Unicorn Snot on my face. What do we think? I feel like it's a little bit sheer, but maybe if I use a a lipstick pencil. Kind of looks cute with this shirt. Let's add a gloss to it. I guess it's not bad. Well, here's my makeup. There's the moment. It has passed, and I will see you next time talking about God knows what movie. All right, see you then. Bye.